Looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day.
Howdy folks, it's another edition of the Gator and Haley Show. I'm Gator, and there's Haley right there. She's looking for a place to lay down. After driving a big rig for a couple of years now, I feel I kind of want to give you my little assessment of everything. I mean, this is a great profession. I love doing this. And yeah, I would encourage others to get into it if you haven't done it and you're kind of looking for a career. It's a good one. But there are some good things and bad things about it. I mean, a lot of broken promises is one bad thing. Your lifestyle suffers because you're sedentary. It's a sedentary job for the most part. I mean, yeah, you have to get out and roll the landing gear down on the trailer and unhook the trailer and all. That's physical work. Or if you're flatbed, you're having to secure the load. If you're tanker, you're having to move the hoses and the pipes so that you can get those goods that's in that tanker dispensed. But it's largely a sedentary position because you're sitting in a truck with a steering wheel in your hand for upwards of 11 hours a day. And if you're doing a live load or unload, most times you're sitting in the truck waiting for the truck to get loaded. But here's the thing. I mean, that's just part of it. There's going to be promises that you're not going to get kept. They're not going to get kept. I mean, your relationships with your family it's going to take a hit because you're you're on the road for weeks at a time, most cases. I mean, if you happen to luck out and you get a job where you get a driving job where you're home almost every night, or every weekend, or every other weekend, it may not take a hit. But the fact is, you're away from home a lot. So yeah, I mean, things like depression, and you're going to be arguing with your spouse or your significant other, your kids and such. But you got to remember, they're the ones you're providing for, as well as yourself. Like, I'm not married. I do have a girlfriend back in Minnesota, but I mean, if we were married and we had kids, that's a large part. I'm trying to keep them fed. You got to remember that. And in some of these companies that you start out with, you're not, they're going to give you promises of a brand new truck and that you're guaranteed $80,000 a year of making. What they don't tell you, you got to read the fine print. It says up to $80,000. Reality of it is, you're probably not going to see $80,000 your first year unless you don't go home. You're on the road. You don't take 34-hour resets. I mean, every time that 10-hour clock hits that first minute, you're in pre-trip and you're rolling. It does test me every day. I mean, there's days where you're not going to have that. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You're not always going to have 10 hours. Sometimes that 10-hour break might extend it to 11 or 12, depending on where you got to go. If you have a set appointment and you're 2 hours away, your 10-hour clock starts at, your 10 hours are up at, say, 6 a.m. You're 2 hours away, your appointment's at 10. You really don't want to get rolling for about another hour and a half. I mean, so it takes a little bit longer than that. And the 34-hour reset is not exactly required. Some companies frown on it, some don't. But there's going to be times where you're going to need one. You just need a break. You need a good full day and a half break because you're tired physically, mentally, emotionally. You're wore out. I mean, you just need that break. You need to be able to get a day where you can sleep in, tend to some matters in the truck, tend to personal matters, do some other things you need to do. I mean, every day I got to take Haley out. She's got to go do her thing. She's got to go potty. She's got to do that. I got to eat. She's got to eat. I got to make sure everybody's taken care of. But here's the main thing: is there are some truths that you can make a lot of money in trucking, yes, but you got to be able to get to the point where you're managing your time and distance every day, you're getting to the shipper way ahead of time, and you're able to get loaded, unloaded, in and out as fast as possible. And not everybody's doing it. I'm still working on it. Time management, there's days where I can set my clock to everything, set my watch to where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be, how I'm going to be. Then there's days where time management is just not my friend. It's like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm getting this going, and all of a sudden I'm looking at, I only got 2 hours left before I have to take a break. Okay, I gotta start looking at it, and there's gonna be times where you may not plan your time out just right, and you're stuck somewhere where you get a truck stop, it's full, there's no rest areas or other truck parking for at least another 20-30 miles, and you really don't have time to do that, so you're kind of stuck. And believe me, your nerve, your patience, everything's going to be tested every day. So I mean, everybody who's watching this, who's not a trucker, this is mainly for you, not the guys that have been there a while. But even if you are somebody who is a driver and you agree or disagree or whatever, I mean, there's a comment section below. Comment. I mean, Facebook here is our main thing, and that's mostly Haley's game. I mean, everybody loves Haley here apparently. But here, let's just it's just pretty much with this YouTube, it's a good thing. And you know, you're going to see some drivers that are helpful, some are just not so helpful, and some that just, I don't know. I mean, right now there's a lot of people getting on Red Viking Trucker. I'm not going to talk one way or the other about it. I mean, I'm just not. That's just not my thing. I'm not into the YouTube trucker driver. I'm a driver first, YouTuber second. I mean, unless they personally attack me, I'm really not going to say much of anything about it, because that's just not me. I'm just basically just repeating what everybody else is, and it seems like I'm getting on some bandwagon, either pro or con. That's not me. And that's the thing, is that, you know, I'm doing this because I feel I've got something to contribute to the community, to the drivers and to the non-drivers alike. And with the company I'm driving for right now, I'm trying to work with them about coming up with some videos or public service announcements regarding driver safety and us sharing the road. Stay tuned for it. I'll let you know as that comes out. You might just see it. Well, anyhow, I'll talk more about this on another episode. So in the meantime, Haley, let's roll.
It was the dark of the moon on the 6th of June, and the Kenworth pulling logs. Cab over Pete with a reefer on, and a Jimmy hauling hogs. We was headed for Bear on I-10, about a mile out of Shaky Town. I said, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put...
I'm a road hammer, a white knuckle steel kid jammer, a rig jockey highway slammer. I'm just doing what I gotta do.